Well, howdy. I'm filming this in May 2024 and this video is going to have a look at some of the ultra compact pocket travel Bluetooth speakers that are available. And I just want to say before I start off that I've been really annoyed by not these speakers per se, but by some of the reviews. I did a ton of research into what might be really decent little tiny speakers before I made my purchases, and some of the reviews online are absolutely ridiculous. There's one, I won't say which just yet, but one of these speakers is quite clearly, without question, head and shoulders above all the others. But I've seen a load of reviews saying this one is really the best, this other one is really the best. So many paid reviews. I can only assume that's the case. Paid reviewers out there. One of these speakers is without question head and shoulders above all the others. We'll get to that later. But yeah, just to kind of be aware that this must be the case. A lot of YouTube reviewers must be getting paid by the companies to say one particular speaker is better than the rest. They're getting payouts or whatever. Backhanders, I don't know. But this review is completely unbiased. I ain't getting paid by anyone to do anything. So yeah, let's just say for some of these speakers, don't quite believe the hype. Just to start, I've had this Anker Soundcore Mini for about 5 years. It's got a 15-hour battery life, it's micro USB charging, but it's got a micro SD card slot in there, it's got an auxiliary 3.5mm jack in, and if you plug in the charging cable, which acts as an antenna, it's got an FM radio as well. So this little unit has been absolutely brilliant. Tons of connectivity options, and it sounds all right for its size. This is decent, but I thought it was time to upgrade. So I wanted something that was going to sound better than this, have USB-C charging, and be waterproof and dustproof would be nice. I've used this in the shower room quite a lot and it's held up okay, but it'd be nice to have a speaker that I'm confident is rated to be waterproof. So I did a ton of research and these are the guys that I've bought to compare and test. I want something that's small, relatively light, easy to transport, that sounds good and that I can have when I'm camping, out with picnics or whatever, but also something I can use in the shower without fear of it getting soaking wet and breaking. So I guess the obvious first one to look at would be the Anker Soundcore Mini 3, the upgraded, slightly bigger brother of the Soundcore Mini that I've had for 5 years. So this has got bigger drivers, bigger sound, hopefully, is waterproof. The Soundcore Mini, when I bought it, was about 20 quid, and you can still, I think, buy them on Amazon for about 20 quid. Bit of a bargain. The Soundcore Mini 3 was 25 quid from Amazon. It's IPX7, so waterproof, not necessarily dustproof. It's got rated at a 15-hour battery life. This has got party cast, so you can link up to 100 of these little speakers to make a louder sound. It's not true wireless stereo though, so it will just be more of sound rather than you can't have two together in a stereo pair. It's a 6-watt output. This does have an app on your phone for controlling EQ and things, which is good, and it's Bluetooth 5.0. Unlike its older brother, this one doesn't have any other inputs. There's no SD card slot, there's no 3.5mm auxiliary in, and there's no FM radio on here, which I think are nice to have, so that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, this should sound better than this one, shouldn't it? It's newer, it's slightly bigger. We'll have a listen in a bit. Next up, let's have a look at the Rienok, not sure how you say that. The Rienok S2, this was 20 quid, rated with a 15-hour battery life, IPX5 waterproof. So IPX5, I don't quite know, but that's not going to be as good as IPX7, is it? This is TWS, so you can have two in a true stereo pair, which is nice. This has got built-in RGB lighting as well. It's a 5-watt speaker. This is operating on Bluetooth 5.3, and you do get some extra connectivity on this as well. SD card slot, auxiliary in, a USB input as well, and yeah, all of these are Type-C charging, apart from my old Soundcore Mini, which is micro USB, but all the rest of these speakers are charging with USB-C. So that's good that you get some extra options on there. This one is a fair bit chunkier than any of the others. Is that going to equate to better sound? Let's find out later. Next up is the Sony SRS-XB100. This was 40 quid. This one is IP67, so waterproof and dustproof. They say it's got a 16-hour battery life. I couldn't find on that Sony's website, but when I did a bit of Googling, it says this has an output of 2.5 watts. That seems extremely low to me. But yeah, we'll do a sound comparison later. This one also is TWS, so you can have two for a true stereo pair. That's good. Nice little loop on there, I like that one. Next we're going to have a look at the Tribit. Is it Tribit or Tribit? It must be Tribit, surely. Anyway, this is the Tribit StormBox Micro 2. This one was 60 quid, a bit more than the others so far. It's rated at 10 watts output, and this one has an IP67 rating, so waterproof and dustproof. 12-hour battery life, Bluetooth 5.3, and this is a TWS as well. So again, you can have two for a true stereo setup. Apparently it can be used as a power bank as well. You can charge your phone off it apparently. I don't think you can on any of the others. So that's good. This has an app for setting your own EQs and things as well, which is good, as does the Anker. Did I say that about the Anker? Yes, I think I did. That's got an app. This has got an app. The Rienok doesn't have an app for controlling your EQ settings or anything, and the Sony, there is an app for the Sony, but you can't control any of the EQ settings for this little speaker on it, so that's a shame. And then finally in this little lineup we've got the Marshall Willen. This was 90 quid. That's expensive for a very small speaker. I'd suggest that if you're spending 90 quid, you can get something that sounds much better than any of these little speakers. But I guess the point is it's really compact and portable, isn't it? But yeah, 90 quid for this one. It is IP67 rated, so dustproof and waterproof. 15-hour battery life, 10 watt speaker they say. This isn't true wireless stereo. You can do what Marshall calls stack mode, so you can link up several other little speakers, but yeah, you're not going to get true stereo using this. Bluetooth 5.1. This has an app as well for controlling EQ and stuff like that. Bit of a different interface than all the others. It's got this little joystick, volume up, volume down, fast forward, rewind. Nice little displays on top for battery life and stuff. That's good. It looks really nice, doesn't it? Pretty useful strap at the back as well. So that's what we've got. That's what we're looking at. Any of them any good? Let's do a sound comparison and have a listen, and I'll give you a little bit of a conclusion at the end and tell you which one you should get in terms of which one is easily the best. And yeah, but make your own mind up from this sound comparison, just using a bit of free uncopyrighted music. See you in a bit. yeah, I'm really hoping this came across on the video like it does in my room, because this little Tribit StormBox Mini 2 is by far the best out of any of those speakers. The bass extends much deeper, and the whole sound, the mids and the treble, are just much more balanced across the entire range. This is the best little pocket speaker by a mile out of all of these. Gotta say, what made me so cross was all the reviews raving about either this one or this one. Guys going on about how fantastic these were. The Marshall, that sounds pretty good. It's definitely got nowhere near the deep bass that this one has. The trebles can be a little bit harsh at times. I mean, there are EQ settings and everything. All the speakers in this test were just on their standard factory main basic EQ. The Sony, it's got quite a lot of bass, but it feels somehow forced. Quite a lot of mid bass in there, but it just feels a little bit blubbery, and the mids and highs are a bit recessed. You can lay this speaker on its side and point it at you to get more treble, but then it tends to vibrate. If you've got it on a wooden surface or something, it tends to vibrate it a bit. So yeah, definitely not my favourite. It's a cute little unit and everything, but yeah, it sounds a bit muddy and a bit forced and a bit fake. The Marshall I liked, but it's 90 quid. It's not worth 90 quid. Don't get it. Get this. Easily, without question, any shadow of a question, it's the best one. My original little Anker Soundcore one. This still works fine. The battery life is still excellent, and it sounds okay. It sounds okay. These were on sale on Amazon a couple of weeks ago for 18 quid. Just pick one of those up if you want. It's great. Old-fashioned Bluetooth, micro USB, but you've got the SD card, you've got the line in, and you've got a radio, an FM radio on there. I've got a really soft spot for this unit. It's been around with me for years, all over the place. This one is definitely an upgrade in sound. I quite like it. 25 quid. Yeah, it's good. If you've only got 25 quid to spend, get that one, I reckon. Yeah, really good, really decent. Not as much bass as this or this. Definitely not as much bass as this, but the sound is nice and balanced, I must say. Yeah, I like that one. The poor old Rienok, yeah, that just, the audio quality, it falls far below all the other speakers, I'm afraid. It's nice that you've got those extra options there for the connectivity and everything, but yeah, the audio performance ain't great. Nice little party lights on the side and that, but yeah, it's bigger than all the rest, but the sound quality is poorer than all the rest. So yeah, there's no question for me. Don't buy the Willen at 90 quid. This one's 60 quid, so still a fair bit more expensive than many of the other little pocket speakers that you can get, but the sound quality is excellent. If you're spending about 60 quid, you can get something that's going to have much better sound, like the Soundcore Motion 300 or the Tribit Flow, is it this one? I'm just testing these as well. But the sound quality on these kind of units is definitely going to be better than any of these little tiny speakers. But yeah, this one is easily the best, and I would say for a little pocket portable speaker, you can clip that onto whatever you want. This is really far and away the best one, the best option. You just got to decide, is it worth spending 60 quid on something this small when you can get something a lot bigger? But I guess portability is partly the reason why you'd buy something like this. I had this on in the shower this morning, flicked my EQ over to the audio, my custom EQ that I made for audiobooks, so that was great. There was no booming bass. This was in the shower. I could listen to my story quite happily. Don't buy the Sony, don't buy the Marshall, buy the Tribit. Thanks a lot, and ta-ra for now. Bye.